City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers, Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Tonight, the Mayor and District Councillors have drafted their vision of Rotorua for 2030. 12 new junior doctors have been welcomed to Rotorua Hospital, and the World Rafting Championships are underway at Orchiddy Falls. Rotorua Mayor Steve Chadwick and councillors have drafted a bold vision of what they want Rotorua to be like by 2030 and are about to test their proposals with the community. Rotorua 2030 sets out 7 major long-term goals, along with 4 key priorities for the council and community to achieve together by 2016, the end of the 3-year current council term. The 7 key goals drafted for 2030 cover a cross-section of the community, environment and economy. Mayor Steve Chadwick says planning beyond the council's current term is imperative if real change for Rotorua is to happen, with shorter-term building blocks for the council and community to achieve. Mayor Chadwick says the next phase for the Vision project involves testing the plan and the priorities with the community and receiving feedback. She says following community engagement on Rotorua 2030 and 2016 priorities, the next stage of planning will involve councillor-led development of in-depth key strategies in the new year to support and achieve the district's vision and priorities. And Council CEO Jeff Williams says he agrees with the Mayor and councillors' approach of involving the whole community in setting their new vision for Rotorua.
So what I've tried to come in with is a bit of an ethos about partnership. It's a view of saying we are one part of our city and we need to play our role, but we need to work with other people. And so when you look at the inner city and you look at what's happening at the moment, it's been really led through partnership. So you've seen people like Mike Steiner and Ron Finn and so on that are really standing up there and saying we want to take our inner city forward.
Rotorua Hospital has welcomed 12 new resident medical officers or junior doctors with a special event at the hospital earlier this week. 6 of the 12 are returning to Rotorua after spending a year here as trainee interns. 2 of the new residents are also Māori. Lakes DHB Communications Officer Sue Wilkie says the doctors will be kept very busy over the coming days as they complete their orientation program. Waiariki Institute of Technology and Rotary Rotorua Sunrise have joined together to present the Revolver Music and Creative Arts Festival. The festival is part of the Graduate Showcase. Performing arts tutor Richard Anaru says there will be some great talent on show at the festival. And Rotary Rotorua Sunrise President Sue Gunn says she hopes the Revolver Music and Creative Arts Festival can become an annual event. The festival is on this Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. at Waiariki. In sport tonight, the Elite and Masters World Whitewater Rafting Championships got underway today at Orchiddy Falls. Teams have been here all week taking their turn at rafting the Kaituna. And the Whitewater Rafting Championships have attracted people from all around the world.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it. I just turned up and then some friends reminded me it's the World Rafting Champs, and I went down to South Island and now I came back up to watch the racing a bit.
I heard about the competition, so here I am, and just want to hop on one of these rafts and try the river as well.
Where did you hear about it? In Canada?
It's a friend of mine, like another raft guide, so yeah, I just came here to see how it is, like what's different compared to Canada.
New Zealand has crews in both the men's and women's open category and the men's and women's masters category, with all 4 teams hungry for success after a curtain-raising gold medal apiece for the under-19 and under-23 women's teams last weekend. Sprint races were held today with head-to-head racing tomorrow. To your weather update now. Tonight will be fine with northeast breezes and an overnight low of 10. Tomorrow, Friday, fine spells with cloud from the evening, easterlies, a high of 22 and a low of 10. And the outlook for Saturday, cloudy with rain at times, easterly breezes, a high of 22 and a low of 13. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Friday, northeast 10 knots developing in the morning and rising to 15 knots for a time in the afternoon, and then easing at night with waves less than half a metre and mainly fine. Still to come in tonight's program, Kitty Danielle talks with Nevin Hill about his recent award for his long-term service at council. We talk with Sport Bay of Plenty Marketing Manager Melanie Short to talk about tomorrow night's Sports Awards, and we catch up with some of the visitors here for the Rafting World Championships.
Nevin Hill is with me now, and he's been here for 33 years. There is an award that sits on the shelf behind us for long service, and I'd love to hear all about it.
Well, thank you, Kerry. For me, I've been very fortunate. I joined the Rotorua District Council in 1981 as a cadet, doing noxious plants work in the field with all the farmers. And that suited me because I came from a farming background, and it was really passionate. Farmers were a good industry to cut my teeth in from a regulator's viewpoint because they are quite unforgiving in some respects and call a spade, which was great. From there, I was responsible for implementing the 1989 Sailor Liquor Act when it came over to councils, and that cut my teeth into administrative processes and setting up systems and development within the council. I was then appointed to manage the administration unit for what was known as the Environmental Services Department, which included planning, building and all the regulatory functions. Then the then Chief Executive, Ted Hansen, tapped me on the shoulder to a secondment to a role heading the Information Management Group, and that was a lot of fun, and we implemented many programs, including Council's first website for Council, which was rdc.gov.nz, and that went live in 2002. And as all things go, it was planned to be launched on the day with His Worship the Mayor turning it on, and just before launch the server crashed. And so we were all racing around like headless chickens, but it went off successfully after that. We got it all restored. And then I came back down into the regulatory area and acted as 2IC for Jim Nicklin, who was the Manager of Regulatory Services at that time, till Jim's retirement 2 years ago. Then I was successful in being appointed to the current position I hold with Council. I always tell people that for me, I've been very fortunate that my career with Council, when I felt I wanted to stretch myself further, I've been very fortunate to be able to find a position within Council and stay here, because Rotorua, as you know, is just such a fantastic place to live, work and play. We have all our lakes, our mountain biking, our adventure tourism, and basically within 3 hours you're either in the snow or in Auckland. So, how could you have such a great life and want to give that up?
We're at the beach,
Oh,
and summer is coming.
Most definitely, and nothing better than sitting on Mount Maunganui Beach eating an ice cream and enjoying the day.
Yeah, and winter too, not too bad here with the mud pools, the hot pools.
Oh, very much so, and for myself, we have a boat, and so we enjoy going on to Rotorua and using the hot springs on Lake Rotorua, which is really lovely.
It's very special to be able to do that with your partner, I understand?
Yes, and quite often our guests, so we have a lot of guests that come from overseas, and we love to show off what we have here in Rotorua.
Were you born and bred here?
No, I'm a Waikato boy, and came down to Rotorua in about 1979, down to Rotorua, to the family farm down there, and then joined Council in 81.
And so in your time here, what has been the most memorable change that you've made, do you think?
Well, I think, to be honest, there's many changes, and I think one of the things I like is about changes is a challenge to turn it from a negative going, oh no, we've got to change this, to saying, how can we make this work better? And I think we're in an exciting phase now. We have a new mayor and councillors with a new direction, a new chief executive, and we're building something for going forward to 2030. what an exciting time and a passionate time for the staff to get behind and help deliver the council's vision for our community.
Yes, and how much longer do you plan on sticking around?
Well, I joke with my management group that I'm a lifer. And so, I've still got a lot of time in the engine left yet.
A lot of petrol left.
Yes, a lot of petrol left, definitely, and a lot of passion for this community. And I think the more that we can do, the better off we will be in the future.
Wonderful. How did it feel to win that award?
Well, look, Council does a great job at recognising the staff that have served here. In my 24 staff that I have under me, we were adding it up the other day, and we have between us over 285 years work experience with Rotorua District Council, and that's something to be really proud of. And so to me that says that Rotorua District Council is a fantastic employer.
And so with all of the staff being here for such a long time, the changes must be very refreshing, wouldn't they be?
I think any change is refreshing. It means that we challenge ourselves, and I'm saying to my team on a regular basis, put your feet in the shoes of the customers we have to serve. Okay, we are the regulatory side of council, and sometimes that doesn't go off too well. When we're having to issue infringements to people or seize their dogs because it's been involved in an attack, it is very, very difficult, and sometimes it's not acknowledged by the community, as well as, say, something like building each street or building a new library or the great extensions we did at the museum. But it is a core part of making our community safe and caring.
Great. Well, that's a good place to end it. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you, Kira.
And for the 33 years of time that you've spent at the Rotorua District Council, Nevin.
You're welcome.
So Melanie, tell me what's happening at Sports Bay of Plenty.
So it's very busy right now, sort of heading into the end of the year, and it's recently we've had a survey released from Sport New Zealand. It was a national survey done over a couple of years, and the survey numbers were really impressive. Recently, the Bay of Plenty results have been released, and we're very pleased to see that 9 out of 10 kids are doing, I think, approximately over 3 hours a week of sport and recreation. So that's really good for the Bay. It is reflective of the whole nation. In other areas, unfortunately, with the teenage kids, they are starting to drop out of sport. So what we're seeing here is a trend across the whole country, but Sport Bay of Plenty, in answer to that, has set up a new program called Pathway 1620, and it's about working with disengaged children, teenagers, to re-engage in their community via sport. So we're trialling that over in the Western Bay at the moment. Highly successful. It's oversubscribed. So we're very pleased to see that the survey results actually reflect the work that we're doing in the community already.
What kind of sports are they playing?
The traditional sports are still there, the rugby, netball, basketball. But the great thing is there is more variety coming through. We're starting to see clubs, the club structure being minimised, and the more informal sport coming through, which is the skateboarding, the playground sport, the 3-on-3, that sort of thing as well.
So 3 hours per week for a child to be out engaging in activity. Is it organised sport that count? Is that what counts, or is it any kind of activity?
Well, sport and recreation. So recreation is quite a broad term.
We're playing at the park.
Absolutely. So
Okay.
our Play in the Bay program, for example, looks at recreation.
So let's have a think here about history, because I know when I was a little person, and a teeny bopper even, I'd spend way more than 3 hours a week doing stuff. I'd spend 3 hours a night in a tree somewhere.
Yes, yeah.
So what's happening?
Well, I think you've also got to reflect on the survey questions as well. So the full survey results are available on our website at sportbayofplenty.co.nz/YPS, Young Person Survey, and that will give you the detail on what kind of sport and how how long the children or the young people are spending.
Well, what's the most popular? Rugby, netball?
Yeah, they are the traditional sports, and they're very strong throughout the school. So yes, we are seeing those codes coming through again.
Okay, so that is some pleasing results. And what now for the future?
Well, what will happen is we keep tracking those numbers, and Sport New Zealand do a great job with assisting us with that. And the other thing that we are doing, which is actually this Friday night, is the Bay of Plenty Sports Awards. And the thing that we've noticed for this year is the huge variety of sport that have been nominated and the finalists. You know, sport like life-saving or life-saving, out in the ocean. Kiteboarding, blind bowls. We're seeing a nice variety of sport across the whole region.
Blind bowls, tell me a bit about that.
So we have a world champion blind bowler who's based in Tauranga, David Monk, and it also shows the work that we're doing with the Halberg Trust, that it's becoming more and more acceptable to bring people with a disability into the mainstream sporting codes.
Great. And Christmas is coming up. Anything happening in the community that people should be aware about?
Absolutely. Well, coming up in the start of December, we've got the Tri-Series, which the Tin Man is part of. And then we've got our 25th anniversary of the Port of Tauranga Half. So that's on the 4th of January. And we're really excited about that because it's not often an event like that can survive for so long. So we're very fortunate to have had the Port of Tauranga as our main sponsor for the majority of that time.
What do you think has added to their longevity?
Well, triathlon has become a very popular sport over the years, and there's certainly a lot of demand in the marketplace, and there's a lot of supply as well. So the key thing about this event is the location. It's the beautiful Pilot Bay. The athletes get to run around the mount and swim in a reasonably flat course, so they come out with good times as well.
What about for the youngest members of our community, the little people?
Well, we're really delighted to welcome the Weet-Bix Triathlon to Rotorua. It's happening on December the 8th down at Kurau Park. And that's a collaborative partnership with the District Council here, Sport Bay of Plenty, and also the Sanitarium Foundation. So some of our families on our Active Families program are training away, which is fantastic. These are kids that have been referred to us by their doctors, and the enthusiasm levels are just magic.
Great, and schools must be getting involved with that as well, surely.
Yeah, well, I understand there's close to 600 registrations for Rotorua, and one of the schools has registered 125 of their children, so that's great.
That sounds like every single child is doing it. I wonder if they get a
really
choice.
No, it's fantastic.
Well, I'm sure they probably wouldn't want to choose otherwise, would they?
Well, it's a really achievable distance, and the age group's from 7+. So the 7-year-olds swim 50 metres and bike 4K, and it's really achievable. So it's great.
For a 7-year-old, maybe not for me.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you, Melanie. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
The Elite and Masters World White Rafting Championships got underway today at Orchiddy Falls. Our reporter Kitty Danielle was down by the river catching up with event volunteers and supporters.
Okay, so you're just about to go down the course.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful river. It's one of the best pieces of whitewater I've ever seen.
Wonderful. Now, where are you from?
I'm from Germany originally, just travelling here and having a good time, enjoying the rivers.
Yeah, and you turned up here at the right time because it's the World Rafting Champs.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it. I just turned up, and then some friends reminded me it's the World Rafting Champs, and I went down to South Island, and now I came back up to watch the racing a bit.
Okay, so the all-important question, are you going for New Zealand or are you going for Germany?
I have to go to New Zealand. I know a couple of the boys rafting for them. I don't know the German team, so...
that's
supporting
good.
the locals.
Oh, wonderful. We'll have a wonderful time.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
Bye. So, where are you from?
Geraldine.
Geraldine, you're from Geraldine.
Yeah.
And what brings you this way, obviously?
Helping out with the rafting.
Helping out. Yeah. It looks like a bit of rest and relaxation. You don't look like you're doing too much work.
It's not very stressful, this rafting. So.
but a wonderful way to spend the day.
Yeah.
What have been your thoughts of how this community has hosted this event?
Oh, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, you know, it's awesome community to come and get a part of it. So
Yeah, pretty exciting.
yeah. No.
Who are you picking to win?
Oh, not the Germans anyway.
Not the Germans. Oh, dig it into his mate.
Right, we better get on.
Wonderful. Yeah, have a great time. Thanks. Hey, so Samuel, you're from Canada and you're here helping with the World Rafting Championships. How did that happen?
Just volunteer, like I heard about the competition, so here I am, and just want to hop on one of these rafts and try the river as well.
Where did you hear about it? In Canada?
It's a friend of mine, like another raft guide, so yeah, I just came here to see how it is, like what's different compared to Canada. So.
And so what is different in New Zealand?
Well, the landscape, I guess, like the kind of little
All
jungle.
the fern,
Yeah.
Jungle, the native bush.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not the same in Canada, so yeah, let's just experiment it.
And how about the Rotorua community and this Bay of Plenty community?
Well, it seems pretty nice. We just started greeting yesterday, and it looks a really nice city, nice atmosphere, so yeah.
Do you think you'll be back?
Yeah, probably. I'm staying for a week, so I'll have enough time to see the surrounding, I guess.
So what was your impression of Rotorua before you came?
Smelly city.
Have we been stinky for you?
No, it's not that bad. So.
We're pretty good, aren't we?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for coming out to help. Can you just tell me how you got involved as a volunteer?
Just subscribe on the internet, and just look on Facebook. It's pretty easy to get around, so...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and enjoy your time in New Zealand.
Thanks.
Are you guys just about to head off on the water? So are you competing?
No, I'm not competing.
Well, are you? Have you seen the American team?
I have, yeah.
What do you think?
I think they look good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think they could win it?
I think they could win it.
And what do you think of the river and our environment that we have here?
Oh, I love New Zealand. It's amazing, yeah.
Pretty spectacular. And Rotorua, have you been in and experienced our city?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, you have to get to those mud pools and all of those beautiful geysers and everything. What's your favourite memory going to be that you take from this place?
Probably the waterfall and the nature, yeah.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, where are you from?
Denmark.
You're from Denmark. What brought you here?
My dad, he turned 60.
Oh, happy birthday, Dad.
Thank you.
What a wonderful present to give your daughter.
Yeah.
Bringing her to New Zealand. Why New Zealand?
It has been a lifelong dream of his.
A lifelong dream. And how's it going? Is the dream good? Is it what you had hoped?
It's the first week.
It's the first week?
2 weeks back, so it's cool.
And have you been rafting before?
No.
Oh, you're very nervous.
No.
Have you heard about the big waterfall down there?
Yeah.
You nervous about that?
No.
Have you heard lots of people fall off all the time?
No.
No, I'm just trying to play with you. Have a wonderful time.
Sprint races were held today at the World Rafting Championships, with the head-to-head racing tomorrow at Orketty Falls. So get out and have a look if you can. If you'd like to contact us, you can phone the station on 07 3488 984 or email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. And don't forget, you can catch up with City News via our website. That's www.tvrotorua.co.nz. From all the team here at City News, Pumaria Rotorua.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.